This morning, a historian in York County needs your help identifying an unknown Civil War soldier. His name may have been lost to time, but the mystery behind the man has lived on for more than a century.
And this is something that our Robert Stover has been looking into for a little bit now. This is not his first time at this soldier's final resting place at Paddletown Cemetery. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you've been doing out there and the people that have been working on this, Robert?
Absolutely. We're in front of that soldier's headstone right now, presumably where he's buried. We don't know if he's buried forward or behind it. It's a little hard to tell with how old the cemetery is, but what makes the headstone so interesting is not only what is there, but what's not there. That includes his name, but what is included is a series of what might seem like random letters that I learned is believed to have been from a tattoo when he was serving in the Civil War. Should he have been killed in battle, that was one way to identify soldiers if they couldn't afford dog tags. Before that became a common practice in the military. And he's actually laid beside a few other Civil War veterans. They're of course named, but here to tell us more about the effort to identify this man is Dominic Miller, who is the de facto historian with Newberry Township. So we met in November of this past year. Yeah. You had made a call to action on social media asking people for any tips, because at that time you kind of hit a roadblock. What have you learned since then?
So we've learned through newspaper clippings, well, we think we've learned that he is a Hungarian soldier. We think that he was in Pennsylvania for some reason working for the railroad and that he was hit by a train in 1904. We know that because in the newspaper clippings it says that there was an unidentified Hungarian railroad worker hit by a train in Goldsborough. It fits the time period and it would fit the description of the gentleman that was hit. And we're thinking that the reason he's gone unidentified is because of a language barrier or the fact that maybe his family didn't immigrate to the United States with him, so there was no one to identify him. We know that he was a part of Company K and a New York volunteer infantry because of his tattoo and what's written on the headstone, and we think we've narrowed it down to the 39th New York Company K, which was the Garibaldi Guard, and that regiment, that Company K, was all Hungarian soldiers.
I mean, you answer one question, but then a few more spawn after through that answer. Yeah. What's going on with the headstone right now? I know to some who look at it, it may seem like it's being disturbed, but there is a good reason for that.
Yeah, there is. So Jacob Lemon, a fantastic local historian, he's going to restore this free of charge for me. He does that in a lot of local cemeteries, his own time and his own money. He's self-taught. He has a Facebook page, an Instagram, and a YouTube where he shows videos of him restoring headstones, and he's going to fix this up. He dug up the base. He's going to refill it in, fix all of the holes and all of the patchwork, and then he's going to reset the headstone, and this is going to look brand new.
And so once the headstone is finished, what is the next step in trying to identify who this person is?
Sure. Well, like you said, we're not sure if he's buried at the head of the headstone or on the other side. So we're going to get ground penetrating radar. Again, free of charge. We've had people offer their services to us for free because they also want to solve this mystery. And then the next step would be getting a court order to exhume the body. We need to do that to be able to access the bones to get DNA. And then the next step would be to send those bones to a genetic genealogist to get the DNA and hopefully build a profile around him and see if he has any living ancestors.
That is fantastic. It is literally a story more than 100 years in the making. And if you feel like you could provide those missing puzzle pieces to maybe put a name to the soldier, we're going to have the contact information for Dominic on our website, fox43.com. Live in Newberry Township, York County, Robert Stover, Fox 43 News.
Robert, truly amazing how much of a group effort it is and all the people who are donating their services for free to find out who this was. Really incredible. Can't wait to see what comes out of this in the end. Robert, thank you so much.